Look at that. What's up, you guys? Welcome to Jay Boosted's YouTube channel, and here we got ourselves the SR20 motor. So I just unmounted it from the Mustang. I made my motor mounts, I made the transmission mount, and now it's time to take apart this SR20 motor once again, because I do have low compression on 3 cylinders. So we're gonna go ahead and take it apart and see what's going down here. Alright, so I finally removed all the bolts and hardware that is needed. Now I just gotta pull this head off and see what we got going on down there. I did see one of the bolts be a little, like, not milky, but it had oil separation. So that means it kind of had a coolant leak down there, and it separated the oil, so it kind of left like bubbles and stuff. But let's go ahead and pull this out and then see what's going on down here. Doesn't want to come off easily, so I'm gonna just give it some love taps here. All right, there you go. All right, I'm looking at the head right now, trying to doubt this up with. I honestly don't see anything wrong with the gasket. Yep, definitely have scorch marks on the cylinder wall. What is up, you guys? Jay Boosted here, and yeah, you're here in the welding table because I'm gonna just weld my mounts today. Yeah, you saw that I pulled my motor apart, and the cylinder walls have scarring on it. So there's scarring on the cylinder hone itself, on the cylinder walls vertically, and it needs a rebuild. And yeah, it definitely needs some work done. I'm gonna go ahead and continue welding these plates, and on doing so, I'm gonna go ahead and close up the whole walls, weld everything perfectly good, and then grind it all down to make it look smooth and nice. Because as you can see, they're all boxy right now. And yeah, hope you enjoy this video, and stay tuned, you guys. Well, I got over here, Chon helped me out. Right here, my engine setup, SR20 motor. We just pulled it out of my Mustang here. And I got my sister over here. She big chilling. But we took apart the whole assembly here. We're gonna go ahead and just hot tank it and use the existing rods and pistons. I heard they're rated pretty good, just because it's a little expensive doing forged internals. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do that instead. And then we got someone locally in Morgan Hill to get that work done. And yeah, I got one more quote waiting for somewhere in SoCal. So maybe 600 horsepower kit is doable. But for now, 500 horsepower supposedly is rated for these rods and pistons. But I did find out the issue of my low compression is because 2 of the rings are facing the same direction, and all of them were facing the same direction. So we're going to solve that issue later once I hone the bore. guys, Jay Boosted here, and today I'm going to explain to you guys on why I'm SR20 DAT swapping my 1969 Mustang. And let's bring it all the way back to how this Mustang started off. So this Mustang initially started off as a twin turbo 302 small block Ford, and honestly, it's been done. I mean, I've done it before already, and I don't feel like doing it again. It just feels repetitive, and that's where the LS swap was coming in hand. I ended up doing an LS swap on this 1969 Mustang, and in doing so, I remade the mounts. I even made the transmission mounts, and it just didn't feel right simply because I already did another LS swap. As you can see, this is my BMW E92, and it's a 78 millimeter turbo, forged internal, LS with ported heads and cams and all the good stuff that you want. It was built by LMH Motors, but you see, this BMW here can handle speeds, agility, it's everything that I loved about this car. The reason why I pulled aside my 1969 Mustang over here. And this car itself deserves the high horsepower that it needs. I mean, this thing makes 26 pounds of boost, makes around, I haven't dynoed it, maybe 650, 700 wheel on full 85 on low boost, I guess. But this thing is pretty sweet to drive and it's exciting, but I just didn't want to run its course of running another LS swap motor on my 69 Mustang. I mean, putting another LS in there just feels like a repeat. And so I decided to sell the LS2 block that was on my 1969 motor. I decided to sell it. And while I was selling it, I was looking into Beam's motor. A 4-cylinder turbo Beams motor. I know it's sacrilegious to some of the people or the purists that hate, me doing a 4-banger setup on it, but it caught my interest as to me trying to pursue that type of build. And it's honestly been quite fun doing it, looking into how a 4-cylinder makes a substantial amount of horsepower. And so instead of, going with the inline 6 or, 2JZ or RB, nothing wrong with those motors, they're JDM as well. I've seen the 69 Mustang do that. I've seen a lot of people do V8 LS swaps on the 69, not 69 actually, on just 67, 66 chassis Mustangs. And it's just not the route I wanted to go for. So I wanted to do something a little more interesting, something I've never touched before. I've dealt with V8s all my life as well. And someone decided to trade me this SR20 DT motor for my LS2. And we made a fair trade. Mine had roughly, I think, 68K miles, I believe. I forgot. And this one was supposed to have 42K miles on this SR20 DT motor. Well, I checked compression, and yeah, there's 3 cylinders that shoot 90 PSI and one that shoots 120. So, yeah, I don't think it's 42K miles. I even popped it open, and it looks like it's been a little more worn than that. But, I still think it's a fair trade. I bought this as an even trade. I mean, SR20, especially S14, SR20 DT with a VCT tend to be up there on pricing. And don't even get me started with the internals because it goes up there in pricing too. But this thing has, honestly, everything that I feel that would feel right on that 69 Mustang. It's light, it could push power. And to back this thing up, I ended up doing a VG 300ZX transmission. It's a 5-speed, but I got the Massworks adapter kit. They got my bell housing shaved down. My bad. They got my bell housing machined to assemble, and they'll work with this with the adapter plate. So what am I going to do with this SR20 DT motor? Well, I'm planning to shoot for 500 horsepower, maybe 450 wheel horsepower. Not too crazy because my BMW here, as gas guzzler as it is, it's already capable of those numbers. And all I want my 1969 Mustang is to run again and be a streetable, fun car to have. And that's why I'm doing all the work for it. But a lot of people also had a question about it having almost a 1-foot gap behind this SR20 DT motor. And that is because the mounts were initially for my LS swap motor. And not gonna lie, this motor sits right in place. I know there's a fat gap behind it, but I also did shave the rear firewall panel of this Mustang to make more room to accommodate the LS, but it works even better on this because I'm able to work on the transmission behind the engine bay, which is pretty cool. And yeah, that's the reason why it's, you know, it's pushed a little forward, but it fits well with the sway bars in the way and the subframe connector crossbar that's underneath the chassis of this Mustang, and also the steering link that's, you know, underneath there as well. It works great for being a front sump oil pan. And so the position's right. It's right between the line of third cylinder and back, so it's still well balanced. It would have been nice to have a mid-engine SR20 DET because it would literally sit around this area right here, which would have been pretty badass. But yeah, this is fine. And also the transmission sits on the perfect spot of my existing shifter location. So that's pretty damn good. That's great. But there's a lot of things I'm looking forward to this SR20 DET motor. And it's definitely, you know, making up for, you know, cutting 4 cylinders, which that's where I'm gonna get to. I'm planning to do a twin turbo manifold on it. And so I'm gonna order, you know, the exhaust manifold flange. I'll make my own mandrel bands on my, you know, stainless steel tubular 1.5 inch, you know, schedule 40 pipe. I'm gonna do all those bands and make a twin turbo setup to accommodate, you know, what this Mustang used to be, which was a twin turbo, you know, V8. And I think it'll be pretty cool to do a twin turbo setup on this SR20 DET motor. It's been done, I see, but very rarely, I would say. But yeah, that backed with some internal upgrades and some nice choppy cams, I feel like that would make it sound so good, especially when it's only 450, 480 pounds with everything together, which is pretty damn impressive, you guys. I mean, an LS iron block or LS2 aluminum weighs about that much without the transmission, and TR66s are heavy. And I think personally, making that car with my Ritech Pro Touring suspension, which most of you probably don't know, but I have full Woodwood 4-pot brake calipers on here, full Ritech Pro Touring suspension with a cradle 4-link setup in the rear and 4 9-inch off of F100 truck rear end. Yeah, I've done all of it. So to back this up onto there, it's gonna be a nimble, fast, enjoying backroads car that's smog legal, or yeah, because there's no smog on it, I guess. So smog exempt, that's a perfect word for it. But yeah, there's a lot to it, and I don't know what else to say, you guys. If you guys have any more questions, please let me know. But I think I try to cover everything as possible and down to the detail. But please let me know what you guys think, and thanks for watching the video, you guys. And I hope you guys are interested in this SR20 DET swap. I mean, there's a lot more to it. Like I have the EMU black engine management setup down below right here with the harness already, and I gotta do all these other things. So I'm not trying to spoil the surprises, but you guys will see as I go ahead and build this thing to get it done. Hopefully by summer, you'll see that this thing's gonna be fun and ripping, and also catch a lot of people off guard. And I think that Mustang was purposely built for that.